Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen State of the PTU. What is taking the live build so long for the latest Star Citizen patch? We're going to take a look at the Star Citizen Alpha 3.13.0 L PTU patch, the latest PTU patch. We're still in Wave 1 PTU, but Cloud Imperium have said the whole team is working to open up Alpha 3.13 access to a wider audience. So what might be causing some issues in the current PTU? SDF, Sign Distance Field shields, are not fixed yet in the PTU, and this is causing major problems. Basically, shields are lagging behind ships, meaning you don't have shields effectively, unless you're stationary or sort of a large ship moving very slowly. It's not great for any form of combat, basically. If this is a desync issue, this is going to be pretty rough for a fix, though, because most desync things are likely to be addressed in a later patch towards sort of persistent streaming and server meshing when they work more on that. Yeah, if it's a desync problem that can't be fixed quickly and easily, we're in for a rough couple of patches, let me tell you. But it's more likely to be a bug or a fault with something else, and it's certainly going to be a blocker for a wider build and the live build, but it's being worked on now, and hopefully is going to be an easy fix. It's happening in Arena Commander as well, so it looks like it's something fixable and just a bug with something else. The latest PTU also seems to have a lot of stability, with people reporting 30Ks and server crashes much more often than the previous 3.13 patches, although that is more anecdotal evidence for 30Ks and server crashes, because I just looked on Reddit and the Spectrum forums. I haven't experienced much instability myself, so I can only speak for what I've read. Missions seem to be not correctly being accepted and saved as you've accepted them and going into your sort of like active missions. I think it might just be the servers for both of those issues having some problems over the last few hours rather than the patch itself, so I'll have to wait and see. Players often get crime stats when killing bounties lawfully. That needs to get fixed. The 100 series is pretty much unflyable and unresponsive. Ship spawning terminals can have issues not spawning your ships, and sometimes even charging you a fine or giving you a criminal rating for the ships that you have landed there. Trolleys for the push and pull stuff don't go up ramps properly, and importantly, they can be strategically placed to blow up ships and kill players. You can jack them in doorways to make them sort of deadly and people passing them can die, or place them somewhere a ship will land and that will cause explosions. Apparently the game can crash if you're idle or alt-tab near Port Olisar. However, this issue constantly happened with my old PC in 3.13, so I think it might be a deeper issue, though hasn't happened with me much with my new build. There are janky issues with the Constellation docking with the P52, but I think actually overall it's in a pretty good state, to be honest. The P52 can teleport a little if you're trying to dock while the Connie's moving, and the Connie's elevators do lose collision when the snub is undocked, so those are little bugs that they need to fix, but assuming they get it less janky, great. FPS HUDs are a little broken as well at the moment. The weapon icons, ammo and grenade count are missing. Performance is up for me from previous PTUs though. However, I am effectively running on a new PC. I've got better RAM, better SSD, I've got a AMD 5950X CPU, so it's hard to work out if it's a new patch, or if it's the new PC, or if it's both. Do you see what I mean? I suspect that the stability and performance are a big focus currently of the Star Citizen teams that are working to get 3.13.0 to live at the moment, so that's probably one of their main focuses. And they have said that 3.13 is planning to use more CPU cores resources more efficiently, so you should actually start to see it use more CPU cores, and that should give you higher frame rates, hopefully. However, in the earlier patches, there was more stuff offloaded from the GPU onto the CPU, and that was causing some people to have lots and lots of performance issues. Bear that in mind, there's probably some fixes that need to be done for that. So what was new in that latest 3.13.0 L PTU patch? It's pretty much just some bug fixes, but I will go over them quick. They fixed an issue causing massive log spam with the FOIP camera when that's enabled. Alt-tabbing out of the game and back in when it's set to full screen should no longer cause the image to be frozen. Hopefully that means less crashes from alt-tabbing for me. Blowing up enemy Valkyrie bounties should no longer sometimes give a player a crime stat, although the crime stat bug is still there, very much so for other ships occasionally. Ships should no longer be immediately impounded after summoning them. Prowler wing feathers should now have side distance field shield coverage. Obviously, that is when it's not moving. The Cutlass Red and Blue's airlock should now be able to be opened. The 100% fuel announcement should no longer repeat. They fixed an issue causing some characters on the Mobiglass Reputation app to have a very low texture. Upon arrival at ESN alert missions, the mission should now correctly start and spawn NPCs, which is great. They fixed an issue causing a character's rotational step animation to be missing after walking or sprinting forward with the Medipen in hand, so they looked even more janky. The Reclaimer Best in Show editions had its sort of textures fixed, and they fixed 3 client and 4 server crashes. Beyond what we talked about earlier, there are a couple of other known issues. Characters will suffocate for a few seconds when you change helmet, but obviously not die as long as you are changing the helmet appropriately and not in vacuum. There can be quite bright, thick fog encompassing cockpits of ships at Lagrange points and near gas clouds, which they need to solve. So the PTU is sort of plodding towards an open PTU and live release, but it's obviously seen some delays, and it's a shame players haven't been able to try it beyond the small first wave testing group, although it's much better than just being with Eva Cardi, because we can actually cover it and talk about it, which is great. You can expect to see some more on the Rock DS with a sale and an FAQ soon. That's obviously that new vehicle in 3.13, along with the Cyclone MT, which is the sort of like missile and cannon combined turret version of the Cyclone. But Cloud Imperium are going to be taking more feedback on the Rock DS, and a lot of people think it's largely redundant as a vehicle, and that may be. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with it, because the issues really are that, yes, it's a Rock with 3.5 cargo space of SCU of cargo. Cool. Okay, that's quite a bit more than the 0.8 that a normal Rock has. But the fact that you really either need to swap seats or drive it around with 2 players, 1 player using the laser, is a downside. It's not sort of like, let's work together on mining. It's sort of like, well, we could take 2 Rocks out and work and do mining, or we could take this Rock DS out. Yes, it's now got a more powerful laser, and it's going to be better for those gem nodes, but if it gave a better yield, maybe, if there's going to be nodes that, yeah, you'd get more out of by using the Rock DS, or maybe it could also help with the ship sort of mining nodes, then maybe it would be better. It's just weird. It's in a weird place, and I don't really want them to go, there's now more types of gem nodes. Some only the Rock DS can mine, and some only the Rock can mine, or the Rock DS can do both, but the Rock can only mine the smaller ones. I don't know. I just think that's separating it out for the sake of it, and I don't really want to see that. But I'm interested to know what you think about the Rock DS so far. Anyway, yeah, what do you think? Have you been playing 3.13 and love it, or hate it, or have terrible bugs, or have had your bugs fixed? Are you patiently waiting for it to go to a wider or live build? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Do you have questionable taste in anime? Do you not want internet pirates looting your internet search history? Do you want a way to have more accessibility to the internets from more countries? Or is your security and privacy important to you? Well, get NordVPN. I shill for them, and you should use the code BoredGamer or the links below for a discount. Try it out. It's like a fleet of escort ships making sure your internet experience doesn't get griefed. We have the April ship giveaway as well for a Mercury Star Runner. The ship is extremely multi-role and should be part of any budding citizen's fleet. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning one is comment on any of my videos made during the month. A random commenter will take that prize. These giveaways and the wider channel content are made possible by people that go the extra mile by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube channel member with that join button and the links below. And me and Zin, the editor for the channel, are now trying to put out regular exclusive content as a thank you. We'll also be asking you in those videos to help shape the channel with making decisions about what content we do and how we do it. Please consider joining if you're really enjoying the content. It really does help. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more Star Citizen content, and I'll see you in the verse.